It may seem trivial, but the dial color of a watch can have a significant effect on a watch's market value. Do silver dials come in second place on the podium? Will black and blue make you a whole lot of green? Let's look at the numbers to find out. This is Time is Money, where the clock is always ticking and money is always moving. I'm Thomas Hendricks with Chrono24 in New York City. Dial color is an intentional choice for both buyers and brands in the watch world. You may remember 2021 when every watch was green for some reason. Or you may recall that a certain shade of light blue caused quite a stir at auction and in the secondary and gray markets. People naturally play favorites with colors, and that favoritism has clear economic ripple effects. Think of it like this. If you grew up wanting a red Ferrari, you'd be willing to pay a little bit more when the time comes for that signature Rosso Corsa. Turning to watches specifically, we're looking at a few key models to help explain this color correlation. We've got the Rolex Datejust, the Rolex Daytona, the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak, and the Patek Philippe Nautilus. Now we're establishing a baseline of black dials and steel cases as our constant and seeing how the color dial variables swing positive or negative in comparison. Let's start with the current generation Rolex Datejust in 36mm steel. That's reference 126234. The average price for the black dial version is currently hovering around 11,900 euros on Chrono24. Grayscale dials typically cost less, with silver down 3%, gray down 5.8%, and white down 7.7%. Cool tones have a slight positive effect, with blue dials costing 0.5% more, and green dials, including the palm dials, are 3.1% more. The biggest margins are for more feminine tones, with purple dials up 19.7%, pink dials up 24.1%, and mother of pearl dials up 33.1% over the baseline black. Now it's important to bring in some context here and point out that those variations often have diamonds on them, which contribute to higher materials costs, which therefore contribute to higher market prices. Let's move quickly to the Rolex Daytona, where we measure opposing forces, white versus black, in the reference 116-500 LN, produced from 2016 to early 2023. Average values for the black dial steel case version currently sit around 19.8 thousand euros. But if you choose the white dial version, that jumps up 11.8% to 33.33. You have more dial colors to choose from for the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak. And you know that since the Royal Oak makes up a vast majority of AP sales, they pay close attention to these kinds of figures. We're analyzing the current generation 15510 ST in 41mm steel. Buyers have a handful of colors to choose from, and interestingly enough, the trends are quite similar to what we saw with the Rolex Datejust. Grayscale options tend to take a hit, with silver down 6.2% compared to black, and white dials down 2.6%. Gray itself has a slight positive effect at 3.6% over black. Now it's blue and green dials where we see the big jumps. Blue increases its reference's price by 26.9%, and green boosted by 30.9%. Those are big jumps, and they're even more when you consider that these are plain Jane models, meaning there's no diamonds or gemstones like we saw with the Datejusts. If you work at AP and you're watching this, you're not, but if you were, it would make total sense to simply crank out a new dial color to increase demand on demand. Let's wrap this up with the hypest of hype watches, the Patek Philippe Nautilus 5711. Now, a lot of you are tired of hearing about this watch, and some of us are tired of talking about it. There's a lot that's been said here and elsewhere about its market fluctuations, but let's look specifically at dial colors today. Now, there's no baseline flat dial version like the rest, so we've got a head-to-head matchup between white and blue. There is, of course, the final green dial version and the final Tiffany blue dial version, but we don't have enough data on those on Chrono24 to make statistically solid statements, so we'll stick to the classics for now. The white dial version, sometimes called the garage door, sits at just over 112,000 on average. The dark blue dial is the OG, and it's what people think of when we mention the 5711. That dark blue is valued at $130 on average, a 13.9 increase over the white. And that's a wrap on our color study for today. It shows that sometimes all you need to go from the red to the black is a fresh coat of paint. This has been Time is Money, where time only moves in one direction, but the market does not. I'm Thomas Henschwitz with Chrono24 in New York. We'll see you next time.